ACT Capital Partners purports to be a platform for trading cryptocurrencies, indices, metals and other assets. Claiming to give users reliable access to investments, this company supposedly offers accounts valued at between $100 and over $100,000. Purporting to have over 300,000 users and capital worth over $1 billion, it further claims to work together with liquidity providers, including 50 banks. But do these assertions indicate that ACT Capital Partners is a trustworthy online trading platform? The short answer is no. We investigated the firm and discovered a lot of red flags indicating that it possibly might be a scam. In this section, we look at the red flags and analyze them one by one. Red flag number 1. ACT Capital Partners' website is written in Russian, even though your browser can easily translate the text into English. Here's why we considered this a red flag. You see, the company claims to have users globally, yet Russian is not as widely spoken globally as English or some other languages. As such, we did not think that ACT Capital Partners has a global presence. It's possible that the company might falsely do so to number 1. Appear legitimate and trustworthy. Number 2. Attract a wider client base. Number 3. Appear well established. Red flag number 2. The company claims to have an office address in Zug, a town in Switzerland. Here's where it gets even more interesting. As I mentioned earlier, the company's website is in Russian by default. Now, Russian is not a widely spoken language in this region. Instead, the main languages spoken here are English, French, Italian, and Swiss German. It doesn't make sense that a company which is located in a non-Russian speaking region would have its website written in Russian by default. The only plausible explanation here is that the company might not actually be based in Switzerland, which seems more likely in this case. You should realize that false claims about office locations are a common tactic used by scammers to Number 1. Avoid regulatory scrutiny. Number 2. Make it harder for victims to take action against them. Number 3. Make it more difficult for authorities to track them down and take action against them. Red flag number 3. All the images used on the ACT Capital Partners website to represent people are Shutterstock images. This makes you wonder why it is so difficult for the company to display images of the real individuals behind it. After all, it's just a matter of taking a few pictures of them and uploading them to the website. It seems that the individuals behind this purported online trading platform are not willing to reveal their real identities, and that's why the company uses Shutterstock images to represent them. The question is, why would they not want to be known? The only plausible explanation is to avoid being detected, tracked down, and apprehended by authorities. Red flag number 4. There is a character or a single unit of text at the bottom of the website that entails unknown numbers and letters. We were unable to establish what these numbers and letters represent, whether they were some company registration identifiers, codes, or something else. Either way, they seem to us like a vague presentation of the company's registration numbers or so. If our guess was correct, the question would be, why would a company display its registration information in such a vague manner? Again, the only plausible explanation would be that, because it's a scam. Scammers will sometimes display false registration details in this vague manner too. Number 1. Create a false impression of legitimacy. Number 2. Make it hard for potential clients to verify the entity's legitimacy. Number 3. Confuse victims. Number 4. Make it difficult for authorities to verify the company's legitimacy. Number 5. Impersonate legitimate firms. Red flag number 5. ACT Capital Partners provides a contact number. However, this number does not follow the standard international format for mobile numbers. Typically, mobile numbers start with a country code, followed by a mobile network code, and a subscriber number. In this case, the number appears to start with Switzerland's country code, but the subsequent digits do not match the expected format for Swiss mobile numbers. Therefore, It seems likely that this number is not a valid or properly formatted Swiss mobile number. It could potentially be a virtual phone number. Scammers sometimes use virtual numbers to: Number 1. Remain anonymous, making it harder to track the origin of the calls. Number 2. Appear as though they are located in a different area than their actual location, confusing their victims. Number 3. Have a professional appearance and look like they are operating from a legitimate business location or call center. Final thoughts. To sum up, we scrutinized the legitimacy of ACT Capital Partners, and established that this purported online trading platform might not be what it claims to be. We found several red flags suggesting that it might be a scam. For example, its website that is primarily in Russian, despite the company claiming a global presence, raises doubts. Further, its purported physical location in Zug, Switzerland, where Russian isn't widely spoken, seems inconsistent and potentially misleading. Also, its use of Shutterstock images instead of real photos on its website further creates doubts about the identities of the individuals behind it. What's more, the vague registration identifiers displayed on its website add to the suspicions about its deceptive practices. Therefore, we conclude that ACT Capital Partners AG is likely not a trustworthy platform, warning potential investors to avoid it. Do you have a complaint against ACT Capital Partners or another entity? Have you lost money to a dubious firm fraudulently? If you answered yes to any of the above questions, don't hesitate to seek help from the relevant authorities. Did you know that you can pursue your funds for free with the assistance of authorities through our consultancy-based asset recovery solutions? Yes, you can. To do so, click on the link in the description below this video. Please note that we are not a scam recovery service. We are just a consultancy firm that offers expert advice and guidance on the steps to take to pursue action against scammers with the assistance of authorities. Without someone to hold your hand in this complex process, it's easy to file a claim that quickly gets rejected on technical grounds and many other issues. Found this video helpful? If so, remember to like and share it to spread awareness about this potentially dubious entity. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's the least you can do to support us and help us grow.